with. What's the number of intelligent civilizations that might exist on other Earths in the universe? What would have to go into such a calculation?
How many stars are there? How many of those stars have planets? How many of those planets are close enough to have water? And on and on.
That's a problem that astronomers Carl Sagan and Frank Drake took on decades ago. Drake came up with an equation that estimated that up to 1 million civilizations may exist in just our Milky Way alone.
The Drake equation is this series of numbers that are trying to be put together in such a way to give us a kind of way of even closely estimating how many other intelligent civilizations are out there.
Yes.
Peter Ward, a professor of biology and geology at Seattle's University of Washington, thinks the Drake equation greatly overestimates the number of advanced civilizations that could exist on other Earths in the universe. Ward and astronomy professor Don Brownlee's book, Rare Earth, explains why they think complex life, animal life like humans, may be rare in the universe.
We began to think that it was just too simplistic, that there's other stuff involved.
Ward cites a number of factors that he thinks would lower the original Drake estimates of how much complex life could exist in the Milky Way, and by extension, the universe.
First of all, plate tectonics. Plate tectonics is continental drift, and one wonders why would that have anything to do with the frequency of life on the planet? Plate tectonics also produces a recycling of elements, and that recycling does some very fundamental things. The most fundamental thing it does, it produces a temperature gauge. It's like a thermostat on the planet. If we get too warm, plate tectonic processes help us cool off.
Then there's the presence of metal on the planet.
Secondly, if you want to be an intelligent civilization, you better have metal. Metal's hard to find on a planet like Mars or Venus. The plate tectonics rotates everything, causes cracks, up come the heavy metals. What else do we need? We need a good Jupiter.
Having a gas giant like Jupiter, with its strong gravitational pull in the outer reaches of a solar system, protects the inner planets, those potential Earths, from frequent catastrophic impacts.
And the reason is those Jupiters sweep up gravitationally the asteroids and the comets, flinging them away, allowing the Earth to survive without so many impacts by that debris. And so it's those protective Jupiters that allow life to proceed without impacts by these asteroids and comets that would cause mass extinctions, as indeed happened to the dinosaurs.
65 million years ago, an asteroid hit Earth and wiped out most of the dinosaurs on the planet.
Those dinosaurs went out because Jupiter failed on the job and should have been fired. Bad Jupiter that day. It let one of these asteroids sweep by, but we've seen what it usually does. Comet Shoemaker-Levy, it smashed into Jupiter the last part of the last century. That's what Jupiter generally does. So good Jupiters are good things to have, and you can make equations for this.
When considering the habitability of planets, most astronomers place great emphasis on finding worlds in the habitable zone around a star. But Ward and his co-author believe that a planet's position within the larger galaxy is also critical.
So that's why we have defined, or did define, something we call the galactic habitable zone. That area within a galaxy, not too close, not too far. It's a Goldilocks area within our galaxy. Just right.
They came up with 9 factors that make up a so-called galactic habitable zone. Earth's position in the galaxy was considered. Away from killer neutron stars. deadly gamma ray bursts. Including the percentage of stars that have planets, and the percentage that have microbial life. They even estimated how often planets might have all their life extinguished. Earth itself may have narrowly missed such an event in 1998. Then, a high-density star called a magnetar burped out a flare of deadly gamma rays, unleashing as much energy in 0.2 of a second as the sun would put out in the next 100,000 years. Luckily, the magnetar was located 20,000 light-years away from Earth.
A really good question would be to ask, what would have happened had that magnetar, the burp, not been 20,000 light-years away, but 10,000 light-years away? Could there be a case where we had something within a few hundred light-years? If that were the case, new calculations suggest it could punch our atmosphere woof, in one burst. And you go, I can't breathe. Now that's catastrophic, and that is totally possible.
Humans may be just a cosmic fluke in the universe. The optimistic assumptions of the Drake equation may just not hold up with what astronomers have learned in the past decades.
The Drake equation was a fantastic construct, but it was done in the 1960s. We know so much more now. So we've added in stuff that wasn't known then, and I think it makes it more accurate, but ultimately it also brings down the numbers. And the million civilizations I do not think can be supported by current understanding.
So how many other Earths supporting advanced civilizations does he think may exist in our Milky Way?
I've been asked over and over to make a prediction, and I say, well, at least one. There's more than one, I think. But I think it's more than one, but way less than a million.
Locating another civilization may happen as astronomers concentrate on looking for other Earth-like planets. But finding those Earths in the first place is a huge technical challenge for scientists. Unlike the stars that have been cataloged, planets can't be seen using current technology. A planet, when examined from light years away, is almost on top of its sun as viewed from outside our solar system. And to make matters worse, an Earth-like planet, even one many times larger than our Earth, reflects only an infinitesimal amount of light compared to its star.
So here we have a bright star and a planet which is 10 billion times fainter. It's hard to imagine what 10 billion times really is, but the way many of us think of this is, suppose you have a firefly, a very small firefly, a very weak light, and suppose that firefly is orbiting around or flying around a lighthouse. And suppose you're trying to look at this firefly flying around this lighthouse from 3,000 miles away. That's something what it's like.
Let's assume you could find that speck of a firefly from across the country, and then you had to figure out what that firefly is breathing by analyzing the gas it's exhaling. That's the challenge that faces an astronomer who first has to find a planet, then figure out how Earth-like its atmosphere is. But astronomers have figured out indirect ways to find extrasolar planets.
If that were the star, and very bright, and this were the planet, and it moved in front of that star, the star would get dimmer, and you would notice that.
It's called the transit method of discovering a planet, since it depends on seeing the travel or transit of a planet across a distant star.
The amount of light it blocks when it's in front tells us how big the planet is. So we use that to understand if there's a small planet like Mercury, a planet like the Earth, or a huge giant like that of Jupiter. And we use the orbital period and the temperature of the star to tell us if it's in the habitable zone.
The orbital period is how long a planet takes to go around its star.
Then it would go on its way, and come back again a year later and do it over again.
When that period is combined with the type and size of the star, the information will tell scientists if the planets they have found are potentially in a habitable zone. The transit method works telescope is in the same plane as the star and its planets. But if you're above or below the system, another technique called the radial velocity method might be used. That method depends on careful observations of a distant star to watch if it's being gravitationally tugged back and forth by an unseen exoplanet. Astronomers can use that information to figure out details about the exoplanet that's influencing the star. Equipped with these tools, astronomers are finding hundreds of planets, some never dreamed of in astronomy textbooks. Super Earths, Jupiters, and even some close cousins to our own Earth. In the search for other Earths in the billions of stars in the universe, astronomers have found a relationship between the composition of stars and the ability to make planets.
The stars that have heavier elements in them, for reason. Those stars formed out of molecular clouds in the Milky Way galaxy that collapsed down to forming a star. So doing, left some central material around them that eventually coagulated into the planets. The stars that formed with lots of heavy elements will form planets that also have lots of heavier elements.
Astronomers call the portion of heavy elements in a star its metallicity. But that doesn't necessarily mean it has a lot of metal in the conventional sense.
Metal, for an astronomer, is any element that's heavier than hydrogen. Lithium is a metal, sulfur is a metal, chlorine is a metal, and not just elements like iron, gold, and silver.
An Earth-like exoplanet not only needs heavy elements and metals, it also needs to be the right size to sustain life. Right size to regulating a planet's temperature. To do all this, astronomers estimate that the smallest a planet can be is 1/3 of Earth's mass. The very existence of exoplanets has gone from theory to reality only in the last decade.
A little over 10 years ago, we had no known extrasolar planets at all. We knew of those. And now we know planets orbiting other stars. And of course, what's really exciting about these planets is that some of them may be habitable.
Follow the familiar blueprint of planets in our solar system.
We found these bizarre structures. They're blowtorch hot. Jupiters undoubtedly got close to their star by migrating inward.
Sometimes the formation of a Jupiter-mass planet is a death knell.
And what if we had been unlucky enough to have such a Jupiter in our solar system?
It would have slingshot the Earth right out of its orbit into the vast, cold darkness of outer space, and the Earth would eventually die off as a cold, dark hulk.